I came up, I think, is it yesterday but one, I put up a story on this channel about Tchouameni, Arsenal interest. You get? People came out and asked me, how can Real Madrid lose a player like Tchouameni to Arsenal? And I went ahead and asked myself, are these people really good students of history? You know? Angel Di Maria in 2015 crossed from Real Madrid to Manchester United. Do you think Real Madrid were not interested in Angel Di Maria? They were interested in the player, but the player said he doesn't want to play for them anymore, and he left. That is it. And when I was doing that story, I quoted it out loud that the biggest job that Arsenal have to do is to convince all Tchouameni to gate interest or to pick interest in playing for Arsenal. That is it. And people never got me right. Most of you got me, but there are some people who really thought that it was going to be an easy way or a walk through the park for Tchouameni to join Arsenal. I told you in that video, if I told you watch it very well, that Arsenal have to convince Tchouameni, because for Real Madrid, if a player doesn't want to be at Real Madrid anymore, they just go ahead and obviously tell the team that wants to take you, get us the money that we want and we sell you off. That is it. So they did it on Casemiro. Real Madrid still wanted Carlos Casemiro, but Casemiro told them, I've hung up my boots at Madrid. I want to start up my new career at Man United. And they've gone ahead to do it to many players. Cristiano Ronaldo, by the time he left to Juventus and was bought for £100 million, Ronaldo was still wanted. You know, he had just won the Champions League and he was really one of the best players in Spanish La Liga. Guess what happened? He told Perez, I've done what I've gone ahead to do. I've gone ahead to leave. Sorry, I want to leave. And they let him go. So teams don't really keep players who really want to go. For example, let me give you an example from Arsenal and Man City. Pep Guardiola has been vocal about wanting to keep Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus at Manchester City. But he told us that when a player doesn't want to play for you anymore, you let him go. You get? Jesus was given a new contract at Man City and turned it down and told them, I want to go to Arsenal. That's why he was sold to Arsenal. Zinchenko also, Pep wanted Zinchenko to stay at Man City, but he told them that I want to go, and they sold him. Look at Joao Cancelo, you know, even if Haaland comes and tells them that I want to go to Real Madrid, you know, and Madrid is willing to pay the amount of money, Pep will let him go and get a player who wants to play for the club. That's what elite football is all about. And today we're here to discuss Zubimendi added to Tchouameni as Arsenal want to make a very record-breaking double signing of these midfielders. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, today is a Wednesday. You know, we are talking Kepa Arrizabalaga, one of the goalkeepers that Chelsea loaned to the side of Real Madrid, and how Madrid is ready to do business with Chelsea for a permanent deal. And Pochettino has gone ahead and obviously about Rich James and Nkunku's return in the club of Chelsea. So let's get this started. We thank God for the gift of life. Hope you guys are really having a fantastic stay on this channel. I know it has been long since I last uploaded the video, but you've been thirsty, but let me quench your thirst with news. You know, today we are having a game, so we are going to discuss a lot, right, about this. Now, Calcio Mercato has told us that Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has added Zubimendi, Martin and Aurier Tchouameni to his list of transfer targets. Now, what does this send to everyone who really loves Arsenal? You know, it shows you that Arsenal is now ready to go ahead and make an overhaul in midfield. 2 or 3 leaving and 2 coming in through. Who are the midfielders that we expect to leave Arsenal in the summer? Jorginho, Because for Jorginho, even Barcelona is giving him an offer. He's a free agent, and Barcelona is expected to be playing more football than how he's playing at Arsenal. Barcelona wants to take Jorginho, and I think he's positive about it, and he's not going to renew his contract at Arsenal. Then, Thomas Partey is another one that I believe is going to leave the club of Arsenal. Those are two. Albert Sambi Lokonga, I think, is also going to leave the club. Then El Nini is also going to leave, meaning that Arsenal is going to be losing 4 midfielders, but they are willing to get in Zubimendi and Tchouameni. Now, let me talk about Zubimendi. Zubimendi plays for Real Sociedad. He's 24 years of age. He's 1.8 meters tall. He weighs 74 kilograms. Tailor-made for the Premier League. He's really tall, and he has the physicality to compete into the Premier League. When you look at this season, he's going to have to play 11 games in the La Liga, scored 1 goal and put up 1 assist, and I think that is really great for a player who plays in the CDM area. In the Champions League, he's going to have to play 3 games, and he's going to have to score 0 goals. Now, when we talk about the Champions League, it shows you that Arteta is really looking at players who have vast knowledge and experience about the Champions League. Zubimendi is playing the Champions League and knows exactly how that goes on, and he has been playing on Europe in different tournaments like the UEFA Europa League and so on and so forth. For Tchouameni, he's a Champions League winner. We all know that. Is he a Champions League winner? Has Real Madrid won a Champions League ever since Tchouameni came in through? Because Tchouameni joined Real Madrid in 2020. 2020 winners were Bayern Munich. 2021 was Chelsea. 2022 was Real Madrid, right? They beat Liverpool, Vinicius Jr. So he's a Champions League winner. That is, Tchouameni was part of that team with Casemiro. And when you get in a player like that, it obviously strengthens your team. So these 2 players that Arteta is planning to bring in at Arsenal are really very much important. And Arsenal's midfield will be really untouchable. And if Arsenal happen to get in Zubimendi and Tchouameni into the summer transfer window or the January transfer window, they would have gone ahead to build a juggernaut of a midfield because of their colossal force that they bring in through in that midfield. Imagine having a midfield when you're having Tchouameni, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard. All Declan Rice, Zubimendi, and Odegaard. All Zubimendi, Tchouameni, and Odegaard. Guys, that will be one of the strongest midfields ever to appear in the history of Arsenal. In the history of Arsenal, the strongest midfield I've gone ahead to see them have, first and foremost, that of Gilberto Silva Apresido, Patrick Vieira, and Edu Gaspar. I still remember that midfield like yesterday. It was one of the strongest, Then, there came another one that was really strong. Songo Bilong. There was Rosiski, Matthew Flamini, and Heleb. That was another strong midfield. And I think they've never gone ahead to have another midfield stronger than those of the 2 I've gone ahead to talk about. They were really, really strong, and they used to do everything right. Now, getting 4 players out, whereby you can only get money from 2 players, Thomas Partey like £30 million or 30 million euros, and Lokonga like 20, that is 50 million euros. Now, that leads us to the price of Tchouameni and Zubimendi. I think Arsenal will be needing to be having a total of 160 million euros. If they pay 100 million euros for Tchouameni, I think they can get him, and 60-70 million euros they can get Zubimendi, right? So that is close to, if at all it's million pounds, 100 million euros, that is 86 million pounds. 70 million euros, that is like 60 million pounds, meaning that will be needing Arsenal to be having 150 million pounds. And remember, last season Arsenal spent 210 million pounds. So if they are to spend 150 million pounds onto these players, then everything will really be going on as great for the club of Arsenal. They can spend that amount of money because if they were not in the Champions League and they spent £210 million, that means they have to spend more than what they spent when they're out of the Champions League. That is it. So Arsenal might be having close to £300 million to spend in the summer. So that's why this pair is possible. But for me, Zubimendi, I love the player. I love the player, press resistant, and to show you that he's really a very good player, even Barcelona wanted him this summer. Sorry, they recently concluded the summer transfer window. They wanted to sign him, but the problem was they never had the money to do that. You know, they never had the money to do that. That's why they never went ahead to sign that player. So, Tchouameni, Zubimendi, onto Arteta's list. That is it. So, I don't know what your thoughts are, but Zubimendi is wanted by very many huge teams in the world. Barcelona just like the player. Zubimendi is really one of the new midfielders in the making in the Spanish La Liga. He fits the age profile of Mikel Arteta, 24 years of age, and if at all he happens to bring in players like Tchouameni, who is 23, and Zubimendi, who is 24, that shows you that Arsenal will be having one of the youngest midfields in the world. Declan Rice, 24, Odegaard, 25, Zubimendi, 24, Kai Havertz, 20, Kai Havertz is 24, then Tchouameni is 23. What a way to revolutionize your midfield, to obviously build a juggernaut that Pep Guardiola is going to have to build at the side of Manchester City. And I think with how Arsenal breaking the bank, finally, Pep Guardiola has a real competitor. That is it. Chelsea still need stability. Man United are still not yet where they are. They can outspend all these teams because they get in more money than any of those teams. But they need to obviously get where they're supposed to be in winning and obviously attracting more good players like Man City and Arsenal. Now, leaving that at that, let's go to another story coming in from the Sun Sports. The product that Real Madrid ready to do business with Chelsea over a permanent deal for Kepa Arrizabalaga, but will not pay more than £17.5 million for the goalkeeper who cost Chelsea £71.6 million 5 years ago. I think this is what they call trying not to do a business in a good way. Why? Trust me, Kepa Arrizabalaga is a very good goalkeeper, and there are very many other teams that can offer more than Real Madrid is offering to Chelsea. Will Chelsea admit they're going to have to make a loss? That's the huge question, because if they don't go ahead to admit they're going to have to make a loss, then they won't allow this goalkeeper really leave. But I think with Pochettino, he's willing to let everything go and let this player get out of the club. With Sanchez in, at his age, I think Kepa Arrizabalaga has no future at Chelsea. Why? The moment a coach comes in through and says, I'm not wanting you, and he goes ahead and really signs another goalkeeper, that is a confirmation that you are not needed. You are not needed, and your services are not needed at Chelsea. So Kepa Arrizabalaga is doing great at Real Madrid. To bring you up to speed, if at all you never knew how he got himself to Real Madrid, it's because of Thibaut Courtois, their first choice goalkeeper, getting what we call an ACL injury. And when he got the ACL injury, he was supposed to be out for 6 months, right? So him being out for 6 months just confirmed to Real Madrid they need to get in a replacement. The replacement was gotten, and he's doing really great. And if Chelsea really want to do business, I think they can sell the player and really welcome the loss, because no one can even get them like £40 million. So Real Madrid just have to obviously increase their money to like £30 million, and they really get in the player. And Chelsea have to accept that loss. They're going to have to make a loss of that huge amount of money. But the beauty is that they really have some good money to spend. Now, today is the Carabao Cup, but before we go into those fixtures, let's see what Pochettino really said as Chelsea prepares themselves to play tonight. He said, when you try to create something new and creating a project we are building, you have to work hard. the circumstances are not helping us to go faster than we want. It's up and down. It's normal. Nkunku not ready. Rest James will start. Now, the Carabao fixture is really on, but when you look at one of the teams that are really having injuries, Chelsea, and when you're really lacking a finisher and you don't have Nkunku with you, that's really, really, really what we call a hammer blow. So they are trying to obviously go past Blackburn Rovers. I think this is a game they're supposed to win, but these teams in the championship can come in through and obviously shock everyone. So that is what Pochettino is expecting today. But Reece James is returning to play football. That is it. In the game of Arsenal, I think the game they played over the weekend where they lost, he had some minutes, but this time round he has been confirmed to start. But other games include Man United versus Newcastle, big game at Old Trafford, Ipswich, Fulham, Everton, Burnley, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Chelsea, Blackburn Rovers, and Arsenal is taking on West Ham at the London Stadium in a game that is eagerly waited to see whether Declan Rice baby, is going to obviously play against West Ham at his former home for the very first time. Your thoughts on Zubimendi joining Arteta's midfield list with Tchouameni are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Kepa Arrizabalaga? Do you think Chelsea should sell him to Real Madrid at like 18 million pounds? Yeah, they bought him at 70 plus million pounds. And what do you make about Pochettino's stance at Chelsea? May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Football News Show has come to an end. We'll return with the match day live on this channel. Rokani David is my name. I'm out. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. Ciao, ciao.